It is a beautiful morning here in the capital city of Abuja. You're welcome to our morning live program now streaming, coming to you live on the Advent Cable Network. Midway through the 4 year term of President Tinubu, rather than focusing on the pressing needs and concerns of the populace, like the inflation in the country, the insecurity that is now on the increase, hunger in the land, and so many things that need the urgent attention of those in authority. All we hear are strategies on how to secure power come 2027. Defections like wildfire and some alliances towards 2027 election. We'll be looking at some developments making round in and around the country. I am Rachel Egbunu, your anchor for today. And to do justice to some of the questions from the trending stories before us, Barrister Patrice Aquara, a politician and legal practitioner. And also we have Mr. John Dunu, a social commentator. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
You're
Priscilla.
welcome.
Good morning,
So,
viewers.
good morning, sir. So, viewers, you can join the conversation by calling the number showing on your screen or send your comments through our various social media handles. Our numbers displayed on your screen. It is always a pleasure hearing from you. But first, we'll take a look at some front pages of some national dailies this morning. I have with me first the Punch newspaper. We have a few stories here beside the masthead. Obi sparks firestorm over Tinubu's subsidy figures, and the story can be found on page 28 of the Punch newspaper. On that same page, fierce joy as Nigerian pilgrims depart Saudi after Hajj. And the lead story here says defections. Hurricane Tinubu sweeps 12 more senators and reps. The kicker here says APC courts for PDP governors. APC courts 4 PDP governors, 10 Akwa Ibom National Assembly members to join ENO, that is the Akwa Ibom State Governor, 2 Edo Nasarawa senators to quit SDP and Labour Party. And the picture story we have here, President Tinubu commissions International Conference Center, Abuja. This is happening today. The Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezonwo Yeson Wike, CON, and the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Mariam Mahmoud, on behalf of residents of the FCT, welcome His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the GCFR, to the commissioning of the newly rehabilitated International Conference Center, Abuja. This is happening today. This is among so many other projects that will be commissioned by the president. And we move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Above the masthead, presidency, Obi clash over fuel subsidy, forex policy. See the story on page 26 of the Vanguard newspaper. And on page 5, Idume to Tinubu, 22 PDP governors endorsed. Jonathan yet he lost woefully. I'll take that again. Idume to Tinubu, 22 PDP governors endorsed Jonathan, yet he lost woefully. This is coming from Idume, and the kicker says he's a lone wolf opposition, coming from an attack from the presidency to Idume. Then the last story here says on page 15, Sanlam alliance march to enhance operations in Nigeria, and that is it on the Vanguard newspaper. Like we rightly say, please, you go out there, get the newspapers for yourself, verify the stories. We can just read the front pages and it stays there. Get the details of the story. You're welcome once again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and 2027, it's like 2 years from now, and the heat is just, I don't know if this has happened before in Nigeria, because the focus now at hand is 2027. Every other thing else, like I rightly said in my introduction, is like on on a hold as it is now. All we hear now is the coalition, is the merging, the alliances, and the defections like wildfire now. So, has this happened before, and is this what we should be focusing our attention on? 2027. I'll start with Barrister Patrice.
Well, Nigeria, as the years unfold and as we pass through one election cycle to another, Nigerians are becoming more politically aware. And also with the advent of social media, everybody is literally a journalist. Unlike before, it was only if the Vanguard wrote, or Guardian, or NTA, but now everybody is practically a journalist. So the more you have access to the tablets, the more you have access to the more you have access to social media, the more you broadcast your opinion. And it's just like when you're using Google Map to navigate, where people gather most, whether it's a market, even if they are not on the road, because of they use internet, they use internet to check where there is a mass of people, then they will tell you that this place, the road is red, the road is blocked. You understand? So because of more people have access to information, access to Android or Apple devices, so whatever happens, they keep on broadcasting. So because of all this, there is a hit in the system. And another side of it also, when it comes to Nigeria and world over, the political leaders we have these days, most of their policies, just like I remember when Donald Trump came in, because of the kind of policies he was bringing every day. So the whole thing led to a lot of agitation. Some of them were unconventional. So also in Nigeria, because of the policies this government has taken, just for example, when Tinubu came in, at his inaugural speech, as he said off record, he removed fuel subsidy. So the whole thing led to everybody having an opinion on it. So all these things, from there you go to cattle issues, insecurity issues, kidnapping, and then we have 2 years. So the volume, the tempo, during the last election, it was high, but because of this, all this trending news, the tempo is getting higher. By the time you are done with 2027 and you come to 2031, you understand, you see that the tempo will also raise. So I think that the awareness, and everybody having access to social media, having to, broadcast his opinion and spread it on WhatsApp.
My problem here is not the campaigning, the whatever before the 2027 now. We have so many pressing issues. It's like this, their attention now is on 2027, forgetting the fact that we have other things. We talked of insecurity. We have talked of the inflation going on in the country. People are hungry. You tend to give a blind eye towards that. And just what we hear now is the coalition, is the merger, is the defection from this very party. And we don't even know if it's at the end of the day, we're going to get one party at the end of
all those things are contributing to this extent issues that I'm talking about. You understand? In as much as the inflation you're talking about is there, but it gets worse because those, just like P2B, anytime P2B makes a statement, they attribute it to 2027. Anytime any former presidential candidate, but these are ordinary citizens. But essentially speaking, just like you're saying, because election has actually started already, let's say campaigning has actually started.
I was thinking it's 2026, the electioneering campaign.
That is the official, that is the statutory one. You understand? Because just like you said, El Rufai has moved over to another party, SDP.
And that we are seeing billboards and stuff like that now.
So electioneering, campaigning has started unofficially, because there are a lot of mergers and I won't say mergers and acquisition. There are a lot of mergers that are going on, a lot of realignment, a lot of meetings, a lot of things. So these are subterranean for now, and these are the things that will prepare. I remember when I ran for Federal House in 2000 and the first time I ran, 2000, and the election was built for 2015, but I started 2013, which is just like, because you have to start preparing for the primaries. You understand? Most parties are now trying to regularize their party, their membership, have to regularize it. Then you that wants to run, you have to now positioning your people to emerge as delegates or as party. So these are subterranean moves preparatory to the...
Okay, Mr. Dunut, over to you now. I don't know if you want to respond to this. And is it a fear of, okay, we don't want to take chance before the 2027, let's get our house in order, let's get things into perspective and make it strong before that very time. Is that what is really happening?
Thank you, Rachel. But I think I'm going to see this from the eyes of an ordinary Nigerian. You understand? Currently, our democracy, Nigerian democracy, is really, experiencing some stuff. You ask the question if it has happened before. It has never happened. I don't think if there is anywhere in the world that the type of politics we play in Nigeria at the moment has happened. I can give you a very quick example. Like, it has never happened. I'm not sure if it has happened anywhere in the world or in Nigeria where you see an opposition being in the government of the ruling party. Example of that, the FCT minister being a PDP member, and it's
solidly behind the
exactly.
president who is an opposition.
You understand?
No. It happens everywhere. Don't. It happens there. Most times, even in Nigeria, it has happened. I remember when Shagari was president, he brought in people from. Shagari was NPN. He brought in people from. What's it called? NPP. My dad was in NPP. I remember that he's the Minister for Foreign Affairs then, Ishaya Audu.
But that was done.
Yeah. That was just that was Ishaya. So
but that was done with a sincerity of purpose.
Well, you can't judge people.
I'm not judging, but I'm saying that I'm seeing
the way the whole thing is happening. We have the governor of Akwa Ibom. I don't know if he has finally defected to the APC already.
I was only responding to
he has done that already.
Sorry, I was only responding to when you made it.
If it has not happened,
if people from when the government is like APC. Bringing somebody from another party. It happens.
That is a welcome idea.
Even
but
in South Africa now, I remember the government of Cyril Ramaphosa, the present minister for agriculture is from another party.
It was done because of a purpose, because ANC were losing strength. So when the DA captured, absolutely. But I'm just saying that I'm seeing from an ordinary Nigerian's view. I can target to be, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be very straight that it's currently that we can see the politicking already happening even before the 2027 is a misplaced priority. You understand? Check out everything happening in Nigeria. We elected these people. I'm not going to be speaking as a politician, but we elected these people into power to serve us, to help us. But rather than do the work that you've been elected for, you are thinking about 2027. Rather than, take measures to stop, some ill vices. You're already thinking about 2027. I see it as act of desperation. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry, please. We have a caller. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the program.
Good Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, please.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Bat. I'm calling from Oregon State.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Somebody, I think it's you, I believe you were contemplating whether our present governor, Governor Mono, actually directed to OPC. Yes, he did that. Yes, that was done and celebrated. Though so many people in the Senate now, in the House now, doesn't support is defecting to OPC. But then it has been done. And we know the policy and the type of politics Nigeria is playing now. It is based on who know who and our party. Nigerians are not, the leaders are not leading the people again based on what the people are passing through, what is happening in the nation, but they are leading us based on our party. You understand? So whenever that is the option of people in a group, then the result is going to be very, very disastrous, and that is what we are experiencing in Nigeria today. People believe in their party more than the people that voted them or the people they are to lead. They don't care about the conscience, how these people are feeling, what is happening to them, so long as it pleases them within their tabak in their party. And that is very, very wrong. That is very, very wrong. As it is now, our governor have dedicated to another party, whereby the person that starts him in that place, former governor, is not in term with him. Talk about Romania. Because that one have refused to join the DC. So the whole thing is just, he has no figure on it. So I think if Nigeria can know what we need to bring this country to a better state, I don't just know, it's instead of commission anywhere.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Barrister, before we move on to other trending stories, we hear of defection from PDP to APC, from other parties, mostly to APC. You were elected as a governor on this platform, PDP. My question now is, moving on to APC, is there no penalty to such people defecting from the party you've been elected into a different party, mostly the APC now? Is there no penalty accrued to such people? Because you were elected into it, and you since you're being defected, you resign your post. I feel that should be applicable.
No, governance, the Constitution doesn't have such provision. You know, whatever situation, the state is a creation of the Constitution, and whatever it operates, it's a creation of the Constitution. Nigeria was actually created by Constitution. You know, there is this amalgamation, an act proclamation, which is an act of law, and even the democracy we are practicing now, this Third Republic, it's a creation of 1999 Constitution as amended. So, and in the provision of this Constitution which you're operating now, if you're a governor, you don't need to, there's no stipulation, you can cross carpet, you can move to another party. The only provision the Constitution has for cross carpeting and the procedure is for those who are in the legislature. That is, say, if you were elected into the legislature, either at the state or the federal, and let's say APC, and you're moving over to PDP, it must be that there is a division in your party, there's a faction in your party. If not, you're expected to resign. But if there's a faction in your party, and you can see practically all the parties today are factionalized, apart from APC. PDP is fractionalized, Labour Party, name them, even ABGA. So these are even constitutional grounds for them.
This has not happened. We've heard of
the
defection for the legislators from this very party to another party, and they still maintain their seats.
If there is, that's the contention in Rivers State, because as at the time the PDP members defected to this thing, to the PDP members defected to APC. There is no faction. There was no faction in PDP. So that was why their seat was declared vacant. Do you understand? But now, if they had done it now, their seat wouldn't have been declared vacant because, as we speak, PDP has faction. PDP has some faction because of secretary issues. So some people are claiming one thing or the other. That is what the Constitution says. And like I said, whatever dispensation you are practicing in a society, in a positive society like Nigeria, it is what the Constitution says. If the Constitution is silent on it, no matter how moral you think that act is, no matter how immoral you think that act is, it has no place, because the Constitution that created the performance of certain acts did not criminalize it or did not mention anything on it. But the one that is mentioned, like the legislatures, federal and state, but what you notice also is, like, in some parties there have not been any division. But when they cross over to APC, because the procedural, the process stipulated is that the Speaker of the House of State House of Assembly, or Speaker of the Federal House, or the Senate President, as the case may be, will be the person determining and declaring the seat. So if somebody from ABGA is crossing over to APC,
definitely.
So how do you think that when the speaker or the Senate President is APC, how do you expect him? So it means that you have to now go to court, because if there is any infraction, you understand, if there is any right creating condition in the Constitution, and that right or performance of an act has been infracted upon, the party suffering the injury will go to court. So it left for the court. And you know the way Nigerian courts are these days. So let me leave it at that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Like, I think Barrister touched a bit on this fuel subsidy removal at the inauguration of the president, and he just came up with subsidy removed. I could just imagine how he was saying it that very day. Before you knew it, at the filling stations, the queue was something else. So we are still on that issue up to today. Fuel subsidy should have been removed gradually. This is coming from Peter Obi. He granted an interview with a TV station yesterday, and also the presidency coming out for Peter Obi said Peter Obi, desperate for power, ignorant about governance. Let's take a look at this short video from the interview.
You've just said it. That means you should face those things. You just said it. Why do we talk about a sample? Do you know this projects that will lead to nowhere when we have crisis? Rufai, are you saying that coastal road is more important than securing Nigeria?
But they say it will open up to the country.
No, don't. Rufai, let's not go there. The roads we have all over the country are no motorable. You fix those ones first and use your resources to secure your country. Say, Rufai, then security is far more fundamental than road. Rufai, will you prefer a road to your village when you cannot drive to your village? No, so you prefer. So let us prioritize what we're doing. So if you say our problem is insecurity, they can't go to farm, our problem is power, let's deal with those things. Let's use our resources to...
So how would you have dealt with insecurity, for instance, that's lasted over 10 years?
Fine. We're a country. Non-state actors cannot take over the country. There's something wrong. I can tell you, I have done in my own small way facing security as the governor of a state. And we decided that we have to take drastic action.
But a lot of people criticize you that it was only the time you had to cause a SARS that also violated the fundamental rights of people.
Go and ask them. It's very simple to accuse people and say things that are wrong about people. You can go and see what happened while we were there. Is nothing. All those things they are talking never existed. And you saw the former IG Abubakar.
Okay, viewers, you're welcome back. You just watched that interview from the former governor, Peter Obi, and you can get the full details and the full clip on the social media. Like, he talked extensively. He talked about the subsidy removal. He didn't fault it outrightly. He also mentioned that in his manifesto he had same thing as in removing the subsidy, but it's going to take a gradual process and put some plans into perspective before doing that. But we just heard our president come up, and that very day subsidy is gone. Yeah, that is the word. Subsidy is gone, and it has been gone ever since till now. So do you think Peter Obi would have, we know so many of them come with campaign promises and policies and whatever at the end of the day, when we know promises that Tinubu gave us, and he said we should hold him accountable if such things are not done. Do you think Peter Obi will do something different from what the president is doing now?
You know, I really want to once again commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for removing subsidy.
In the way he did?
Not in the way he did, okay. Because every other president or any other, I mean, if it was Peter Obi or Atiku, would have done the same. But the process, the measure, I mean, that's just a single statement can destroy a lot of things. And you just confessed what happened on that same day. In that same minute, you see filling stations queue up and down. All right. I just want to bring out that people are elected to serve the citizen, to better our lives, not to, make the situation to be more worse. All right. We are a nation that has been blessed with crude oil, and it's for a fact that Nigeria currently is paying lesser compared to other countries in the world. I mean, we buy petrol, just realistically, we buy petrol a bit more cheaper than maybe Turkey, China, and even South Africa. But those countries do not produce petrol. They are not blessed with crude oil. So we should have, as citizens of this country, I think it will be proper to have the benefit of what God has given to us. If we are producing crude oil, why should
we are refining?
We are not even refining crude oil. So it boils down to what I said about misplaced priority. It's done because it's a fact that corruption is. The subsidy is tinted with corruption. It's understandable. Why don't you go after the people that...
Okay, sorry, please hold your thoughts. We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, make your contribution.
It's okay. I'm Kelvin Okoha, calling from Warri, Delta State.
All right.
Actually, my contribution to this issue of fuel subsidy removal is that, sincerely speaking, like your guests are saying there's no human that is perfect. Maybe the others, if you are Chuku or Obi or anybody, we don't know what they would have done. But to me, as a citizen, I think he would have done it in a gradual process that the citizens would have even feel the impact of the hardship in the nation at the moment. So to me, he is just standing on that day of his inauguration and saying subsidy gone actually brought a lot of untold hardship on Nigerians. We don't need to pretend over it. So that is my take. He ought to have done it in a gradual process and maybe put things on ground that people, especially those who are unemployed, will be engaged, and other things, social amenities like electricity and so on and so forth, should have been done in a perfect way before removing the subsidy thing. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Like he rightly mentioned, as you wrap up on your thought, how differently can he do? Would he have done it different from how he just made the proclamation that very day and it ends there? How differently would he have done it?
You know, and even in America, they still subsidize stuffs, food, even petrol. Even in America, not to talk about Nigeria. So I think the citizens still deserve some measure of subsidy. Why would you take away where is the money? What is the impact of the subsidy that's been removed? All right. So I believe that the subsidy wouldn't have been taken away utterly. They were supposed to investigate the corruption in the subsidy, because subsidy is meant to help the ordinary citizens. Now that the subsidy has been taken away, and from 118 naira petrol, we started buying it. Currently, we buy it for 9 something. So what are you?
It went up to almost 2,000. There was a time people
what have you done? Because we elected you to better our lives, not to inflict more pain. I think nobody would take up power and would love to see the citizens suffer. I believe that Mr. President has the good interest of the citizens.
Okay.
Hello?
Please, okay, sorry, please. Okay, please go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, please, gentlemen and lady.
Good morning.
Yes, I call you from Port Harcourt. I'm Dr. Beke by name.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, I like the discussion you're having in the studio. But there's something I want to let us know. He who planned not to, doesn't plan well, plan to fail. Yes, the Mr. President started on a very wrong footing. The first step he took that very day of inauguration was the beginning of his failure, if I'm to say that. Because for you to remove oil subsidy, you have to first of all start planning. In fact, before you even come into government, you've already written down and planned what to do. So that as you're removing it gradually, the people of the country will not even know when the subsidy is gone. They won't know. You plan it, set your goals for the whole 36 states. Try to put in things that will like step down the whole effect of that subsidy. So at any day they hear they say, but things are normal. But for you to immediately that very day he removed the subsidy, the whole problem started. And look at where we are now. We are buying petrol at almost 1,000 naira. So it is very, very bad for us. Something we get from our country. What stops us from allowing this small what do they call themselves? There's something they called them before.
Modular refineries.
Osibanjo went around and said, we can just, these people that instead of this move they are doing here in Rivers State, why not approve them, license them, let them be producing? All you need to do is to test their products if it will stand the test of time. Before you know what is happening, we have all these things all over. The last thing I want to contribute about is this money we borrow. You see, all this money we are borrowing, for instance, I sat down the other day to think of 30 kilometers of Calabar-Lagos Expressway. That road you're constructing, 700 something kilometers. And then how much have it taken you to do 30 kilometers for how many years?
Who would that help?
Then how many years will you spend in office? Before you finish this road, it will take more than 8 years. And then you have spent a lot. This is money you would have converted and putting it into agriculture and so many other areas to help the poor masses. Let them see food to eat. Before you talk of all these gigantic projects you're doing that will last for 10 years, 20 years, while that time you are gone. The other person coming may not finish that project. So that one, to me, is a gigantic elephant project that may not see the light of the day. Have a nice day. Please.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate. Sorry for breaking your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just sum up. So
all right. So I mean, just like you rightly said, I was coming to that it would have been done gradually. Your essence is to better the lives of Nigerians, not to inflict pain. Why would you take out subsidy and now you are building coastal road? Who is that going to help? Just like Peter Obi rightly observed, traveling from Abuja to the east, there are places that you can't even go. Why don't we make sure that those roads are okay before planning a road that's going to take a very long time to achieve? And what impact would that be to the economy? So the subsidy removal was done in a rush and was not planned. And obviously, like the saying goes, he who fails to plan plans to fail.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Over to you, Barrister. Your thought on this, and you just watched a clip of Peter Obi's interview. Priorities, setting our priorities straight. We know what happens on our roads these days. The roads that are porous, not secured. We hear of in the insecurity going on, the kidnapping and stuff like that. What he rightly said, is he making the obvious statement? Because we know these people don't even, is what they can hold on to.
Good morning, presenter and the guest in the studio there.
Good morning, you're welcome.
Calvin, that called initially, since the network cut me off.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Now, what I want to contribute more is that Mr. President, actually, I don't know, it's my own opinion. It's not the opinion of all Nigerians. I see his statement that day as a person who didn't actually have the mind of citizens at heart, and he did not actually understand what he said by saying that was subsidy gone. And if you discover that very day, it was not up to seconds. Filling stations adjusted their price, the pump of their price instantly. But when they reduce the pump or the price of pump, they struggle to reduce the price. So I don't know, Mr. President, actually, to me, some persons always argue with me when I discuss with them. The present problem and economic situation we have in Nigeria today, Mr. President Tinubu Ahmed is the cause of what we are passing through today. An issue of partisan politics, I think, is destroying us as a nation. And what I have to say is an appeal to him, if he's listening or any of his people are listening, they should look into this issue of subsidy and, if possible, come out. It will not be a crime. It will not be stupidity to him to say, Nigerians, well, I'm sorry that I removed this. Now we are bringing so amount, also percentage back as percentage, and if possible, just like one of your studio, your guest saying there, they should investigate the subsidy where the money went to all these years, not removing it to punish the ordinary Nigerian. They themselves now, when they go to face social, do they pay for the amount of fuel they buy in their cars, in their convoys? Do they pay? It's not the taxpayer money they use in collecting those fuels. Do they pay? So I don't know. They should look into these issues and forget about this partisan politics they are playing in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calvin, for your contribution. Please, it's over to you.
Anyway, when the people are ready, when Nigeria is ready, when the Nigerians are ready to build a civilized society, all these things we are talking about every day will come around. We go to this media or social media. When Nigerians are ready to build a civilized society, you find out that people with this kind of mindset, like Tinubu, all those people will fizzle out. Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no need for all these policies. Most of these policies, you are looking at it from your own point of view. These are calculated attempts. For me, that's why fuel subsidy was removed, for them to have money to give to their cronies to build all these coastal roads that we don't need. to give to governors. These are calculated attempts. There's something the people should know. The people should really have ownership of the society, because the way you think is different from the way the politicians think. And so long as you just keep on talking and you don't have the capacity to enforce and ensure that your votes count, do you get? They will continue to do what they are doing, steal the victory, and come up, use the security services to protect themselves and ensure compliance. And then they further use ethnicity, tribalism to further divide the people. Because when you listen to what Peter B is saying, it's not rocket science. Okay, see what is happening in Abia State. See what the governor is doing. Meanwhile, successive governor. Now, see the issue of cattle. It's like these people are cultists. Not that it is like, most of them are cultists. Why would you allow cattle to be disturbing people, killing everywhere? It's like there is a cult that says, if you are the president, allow this cattle to be inflicting injury on people, so that as you allow it,
so that
Nigerians will still be behaving like cattle, allowing you to stay more. It's a spiritual warfare.
Exactly.
I don't see the reason why a Yoruba man, will come and allow these cattle rearers to be causing insecurity everywhere in this country. Cause a Yoruba man,
I know what happened in Plateau State.
Exactly.
When they killed the people, the amount of people they killed, and now later on cows were killed. I don't know if they were killed or poisoned. You didn't investigate into the killings of human beings' lives, but rather you go ahead to investigate cows that were killed.
So when you look at it, you find out that when the people on the society will clamor, these people don't take any action, then it's a deliberate, which means it is deliberate and it is intentional. It's actually a covert policy.
With human lives.
It's a covert policy. It's a policy that is known within themselves. So when you listen to P2B, all these things, let me tell you, I think humanity, when we have good human beings, you can predict what they will do. You can see when Goodluck Jonathan removed subsidy, he removed it with a human face. That's when they started Shopee. He brought in the former managing director of Bonvita, of Cadbury, to head. They started roads, he did it with a human. Now, this one that they have removed, what they now do, they will give more monies to governors who convert it to foreign exchange and further weaken the naira, floating the naira. You're not even producing anything. There's no electricity, nothing. So you see that, and every day he will come. Tinubu will come on TV and tell you that he's doing this. Just like one of his aides that resigned over the weekend, say that they are deceiving him, they are lying to him. I don't think anybody is deceiving him. He knows he's a Lagos boy. He's a Lagos boy. He's a Lagos boy, so he's on the ground, just like some of us who grew up in Lagos.
We hear people saying he doesn't know whatever it is.
He knows everything. There's nobody who grew up in Lagos, talk less of being a former Lagos governor, that doesn't know what is happening on the streets. Do you get? Every Lagosian, like as we are, knows, have a way of knowing what.
This, just sum it up and round up.
So what I want to say is, it's like a deliberate policy to continue this, so that they will continue to rule Nigeria. So the onus is on the people to understand that they are playing with your lives and the lives of your children. They are toiling with your life, and that is why I always call upon the church. You understand, because the Bible says that the kingdom that God has given us here on earth, the earth is the Lord's and all its fullness, and that the earth He has given to the children of men. So everybody should rise up and hold the next election. Make sure that the next election is held transparently, and if there's any shade, just like they say glitch, somebody said there was a glitch, they took jump again, but there's a glitch. Instead of taking the election again, they announced the result. Make sure that there was no glitch. Let us just endure but the next election must ensure that the person who wins it must emerge through a thorough and transparent process. If not,
Thank
we
you.
will still come back here a year after if they still rig the election, because the person who rigs the election and wins will come and do this deliberate policy of pauperizing the people, and then you call me and this my dear brother and some other people to come and be discussing it.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Junu, please in 10 seconds.
I think I'm lending my voice to his. The people need to wake up. And these people that we are electing to go and represent us also need to wake up, because we see that there is no more separation of power. Just like the judiciary and the executive, they are like
legislatures.
Yes, exactly. They're in the same bed. All right. But the problem is the people. And these people that we elected should make plans. So I'm saying to us that there is an urgent need for electoral reform. If the system in which the result is transmitted is not corrected, this stuff will keep happening. And that boils down to the system. I know that we are running out of time, but we saw on the social media the Jahi hospital thing. You are blaming the staff. This started from the top. So to every other person that is working in the government. Example, like in China, you don't find anyone working for the government owning a passport. But now we see people working in government owning a passport, traveling up and down, and they are in the government. In fact, being in government is now more lucrative than doing business.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Dunu, for your analysis. Barrister Patrice, thank you so much for coming and for your analysis in the program. To Mr. President, this morning, this is the time to focus and give attention to the more pressing issues and needs of the citizenry, even as you go about with your electioneering, preparing for 2027, and also redeem the campaign promises you made. Nigerians are watching. So viewers, this is the much we can bring to you on the show today. Let's do this again, same time, same station tomorrow. Do have a blessed day and stay safe. I am Rachel Ibunu. Bye for now.